are hosting live auditions for our Laureate Gala at Carnegie Hall this summer. Auditions are open to soloists, composers, small and large ensembles. You can also audition for an opportunity to perform a concerto with the New York Chamber Players Orchestra. Don't miss your opportunity to receive a professional video recording of your performance on this world-renowned stage.
Hello everyone, my name is Luke Eggert. I live in Killeen, Texas, near Fort Hood, where my dad retired from the Army. When I was 4 years old, I started my musical journey through the Suzuki violin method with Mrs. Jennifer. Ever since then, I have loved playing the violin because it allows me to express my feelings through music. I get excited when I have the opportunity to learn different styles of music, like pop, jazz, and fiddle playing, because they expand my versatility as a performer. I'm also a member of the first violin section for Waco Youth Orchestra this season. I have been fortunate to have had master classes and lessons with some of the most incredible violinists over the years, such as William Hagen, Brian Lewis, Amy Beth Foreman, Hal Grossman, Elizabeth Bailey, and Caroline Campbell. When I'm not studying for school or practicing my violin, I like to play chess, ukulele, video games, and create drawings. I also enjoy training and competing in fencing tournaments.
Chance to look around New York, and did you get an impression yet of what the city is like?
I went to Juilliard for a tour and the Empire State Building, and I even toured Carnegie Hall.
You did?
Yeah.
And what was Juilliard like? You've heard a lot about it, I'll bet.
Yeah, it's a really cool school. I probably want to go there one day. I really liked it.
And you saw the Empire State Building?
Yes.
Did you go up to the top?
Yeah, the glass, it was super cool.
Yeah, quite a view.
Yeah.
Was it a clear day?
Yeah, it was just really windy.
Now, I understand that you play both classical violin, but also it says fiddle. Now, what's the difference between the fiddle and the violin?
So there's many things you could say about that, but when somebody asks me that, I like to say that the violin sings and the fiddles dance.
That's very good. I see. And you enjoy them both about the same, I'll bet.
Yes.
Yeah. So what sort of fiddle music do you play? What sort of dance fiddle music do you like? What sort of repertoire? What kind of music?
So fiddle's all about like improvising and finding new pathways for your music, while classical's strictly staying to a page. But I like both though, and I really like fiddle because I can make new things up, and I really enjoy doing that.
And is there anything about improvising, making things up, that actually helps you in the classical playing? Is there any overlap? Have you learned anything one from the other?
So I really like to express my emotions when I play pieces, and by improvising, I find new ways to express my feelings. So that comes over to classical, so whenever I play on a stage or just in my practice, I can have ideas to express my feelings, like in the dynamics and in movements, too.
I see. How long have you been studying violin?
7 years.
7 years?
Yeah.
Well, you don't look too much older than 7, but how old are you?
I'm 11.
So you started as a little kid when you were 4 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you started playing at 4, you're picking up the violin. You've never played the violin before, obviously, because you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
At what point did you get the feeling that maybe this was something you were going to be good at?
I actually did not get that feeling, but I did get a sense of me enjoying the violin and the sounds, and I wanted to continue playing it. I did not start off really good. My mom had to do some stuff to help me. But I liked the sound of the violin, and I wanted to keep playing, so here I am today.
And what pieces are you working on? I'm going to ask you what piece you're playing today, but what other pieces are you working on? Any concertos yet?
Right now I'm working on Beethoven Romance in addition to my piece I'm playing today.
I see. Have you looked up the scores for other concertos, like, for example, Sibelius?
I have not done Sibelius.
But you've looked at the score?
Yes.
You think someday you'll be up for a piece like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite concertos. There's a part in the score where you're playing harmonics on the string. I don't know if you noticed that passage yet.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it goes very quickly, and it's just like whistling, because you know what a harmonic is. You're just touching the string.
Thank you for bringing Bach to the table. What a hard composer to play, and what a joy to listen to. To the judges.
I have many things to say. I'm very impressed. I have to start by saying that I'm very impressed. But I think I want to turn first word over, if you don't mind, to Mr. Welch, precisely because I have so many things to say that I'll just hog the time otherwise.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I was thoroughly impressed too. I enjoyed it. Luke is one of our progressive musicians alum, and I think was it a year ago that I heard he played Chartis online on our online competition, and I just remember thinking, wow, that's energetic, well trained violinist there, and he's going places. And I mean, and since then you've grown so much as a musician, and if that was possible. So keep up the good work. It's great to hear you again, and I look forward to hearing you again in the second tier.
I may even have heard that, Chartish. I want to start by telling you that everything that I'm about to say is a measure of my respect for your playing. Because if you were a lesser player, I would satisfy myself with saying, well, he's playing a very difficult piece. It's, played without any particular technical issues. Where's the problem? But you are far beyond, where's the problem? Your basics are all definitely in place. I'm going to start by saying that whenever you're playing Bach, Mozart, or Beethoven, I remember being your age. I remember people, my mom primarily, telling me that these are the most difficult composers. And I remember sort of rolling my eyes at her, thinking, what do you mean most difficult? Paganini's difficult. Ernst is difficult, Sibelius concerto is difficult. But what it means is that the things that in Chartish are not noticeable at all, the occasional intonation slip or something, in Bach and Mozart and Beethoven, they are especially transparent. And to illustrate that, I'm going to tell you a little story from my background. Please don't think that I'm comparing your playing to the negative elements in this story. So I was in my 20s. I was doing a competition in Austria, and the pianist who was accompanying me also had played with people like Gidon Kramer, Misha Maisky, and so forth. So, I was in awe. And the pianist at one of our rehearsals said, listening to you play reminds me of walking through the Hall of Mirrors in the Palace of Versailles. And I glowed. I thought I was getting the world's biggest compliment. He said, yes, the Hall of Mirrors in the Palace of Versailles where a horse had taken a massive poop. Because he said, in a barn, you expect to find a pile of horse poop, but you don't expect to find it in the Versailles Palace. Your playing isn't being compared to horse poop. Your playing is being compared to the Versailles Palace, which means that the expectations that are going to be made on you, that are going to be made of you, are going to be that much higher. Versailles has to be that much cleaner than a barn. So the long story short about intonation is that while for anybody else your intonation is great, given how well you play, it needs to be cleaner. And for that, just slow practice. There's a lot of things that are in weird keys with lots of sharps, like on the second page. Make sure that you hear it clearly, and then you will play it clearly. The only other thing, other than these long stories, the only other thing that I want to bring to your attention is that a lot of times when you have what's happening is that there's an ostinato, a repeated note, and a moving line. And if you can somehow make us start forgetting all about the ostinato, if it starts to sort of fade like the drone of a bagpipe, and if we can follow the moving line as though it's being sung as a continuous melody, it sounds, again, like a completely different level of artist. That's what, if you have a thing to listen for beyond intonation, that's what I would advise you to listen to. Other than that, hats off. You are doing very, very advanced work at a very high level.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Wonderful comments. Thank you so much.
And so tell me about the Beethoven Romance. Is that what you're doing on this program?
No, I'm doing Partita Prelude.
By?
Bach.
Oh, by Bach. Oh, which partita?
The first one, like movement 3.
I see. Yeah, that's exciting. And how often do you practice? How long do you practice every day?
Well, when I'm at home, I usually practice 4 to 5 hours.
4 to 5 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. That's really good. And so I asked you when you had the feeling that maybe the violin was for you, but did you at any point get the sense that you really had a talent for this, that there was something about you that was going to really fit with the violin, that you were going to end up being pretty good?
So when I first started fiddle, my like in the beginning when I first did a contest, I wasn't that great, and I didn't get a good place. But when I kept on doing it, there was a sense that there's a sense in me that made me think, if I keep doing this, maybe I'll be really good someday. And that's why I really want to keep doing violin, because I'm thinking about the new adventures that I can come across and the new opportunities I can get.
And what kind of new opportunities are you hoping for? Have you dreamt about the future?
Well, one of my opportunities was playing at Carnegie Hall, and yeah, I'm getting to do it today.
Here you are at Carnegie Hall. So in a few hours, you'll be taking the stage, and you'll be playing that Partita by Bach.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you have a little idea of how many famous violinists have also been on that stage.
Yeah.
Just about everyone in the world. Do you know the name of the musician who conducted the first concert at Carnegie Hall?
Was it Tchaikovsky?
Yes. Very good. Isn't that something to think that
Yeah.
you're in the same building where Tchaikovsky conducted the opening concert?
That's really amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Someone told me they think that when Tchaikovsky was walking around New York, he started thinking about what became the Nutcracker Suite. So it's interesting to think that it was kind of born in New York City, such a great Russian piece. So you think someday you might at least audition at Juilliard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to.
Yeah. And then beyond that, what are your hopes? Do you think you'll make music a career?
Yeah. When I grow up, aside from music, I also want to study fossils and be an archaeologist, because that's something that I really like.
Really?
And music, so maybe I'm like a what do you call a musician and an archaeologist?
Let's see, I think this is a riddle, right? I don't know what.
It's not a riddle.
Oh, there's no punchline?
No.
Okay. Okay, it's, but I know that to be good on the violin, you have to bone up on it. Get the joke?
Yeah, I get the joke.
Okay. So there you go. Well, those are two wonderful careers. Being an archaeologist, I'm fascinated myself by that field, and also studying to be a musician. Maybe you can somehow combine them, and if one doesn't work out, or if you find that you like archaeology better, you'll pursue that. Or if music really keeps going with you, you can be a musician or something, or you can be both.
Yeah.
Well, you're a wonderful, fascinating young man. I wish you the best of luck tonight. Any parting thoughts you'd like to leave our audience with?
No, I think I'm good.
Good.
I think I've expressed everything I can.
Good. Thank you very much. Good seeing you.
Progressive Musicians and Sound Espressivo are hosting live auditions for our Laureate Gala at Carnegie Hall this summer. Auditions are open to soloists, composers, small and large ensembles. You can also audition for an opportunity to perform a concerto with the New York Chamber Players Orchestra. Don't miss your opportunity to receive a professional video recording of your performance on this world-renowned stage.